Hello, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Stephanie and I like talking about houseplants. If you've been with me for the past few months, I've been on YouTube for about 6 months or so. I've shared a lot of my houseplants highs. I've shared my biggest houseplants. I've done a complete houseplant tour. I've also showed you my houseplant favorites for 2023 and even houseplant hauls. So you've seen a lot of happy houseplants. In today's video, on this beautiful sunny winter day, I thought, why not share with you my houseplant fails? Yes, I have houseplants that I have given too much love or too little love, and it didn't work out. Some of them have, are not with me anymore completely, and some of them I've barely managed to salvage and propagate, and I have a few baby versions that I'm trying to hang on to. So I thought today I'd share that with you. I would like to share with you some of the things that I did wrong, and hopefully this will help you in your plant care to not make the mistakes that I made, and hopefully we could get a few laughs along the way. All right, let's get started. A few months ago, I did a houseplant haul. It was around the summertime, and I got Aloca Sinata. It looks very similarly to, or probably it's the same as the dragon scale. I'll insert clips and footage somewhere along the screen. Yeah, I was so excited. It was actually my first alocasia that I ever got. And so I was so excited to have this plant naturally. And as soon as I got it, I made the mistake of immediately repotting it and taking it from soil and putting it into leca. With some plants, I find with syngoniums, that's fine. Syngoniums are completely okay to be repotted as soon as they come home, at least my syngoniums and the growing environment that I have for them. But for alocasias, not so much. And so this plant, at first it was doing well. And how about I just show you what it looks like now? So this is what that plant looks like now. Can you see it? Because there's nothing there. That's right. This plant is no more. This is the jar that it used to be in. And so, yeah, nothing's there. The jar is empty. But yeah, there's no more. So actually, I'm just being silly. I'm just being funny. Let me show you what really is left of this plant. So that's all that's left. Just the base, the root ball of this plant. And yeah, that's all that's left. I put it into sphagnum moss. It's sharing a cup with this MONSTERA adansonii, and it's starting to grow a little something here. But yeah, it's fallen a long way from where it used to be. And so, what did I do wrong? Something that I've more recently learned since I've started putting my plants in water and in leca is where exactly to fill up the reservoir. And I think I had the reservoir filled too high, and that caused like some root rot on that plant. And I'm not going to say that, oh, I'm an expert now and I know exactly what to do with that alocasia, because I'm not. I'll be honest with you, I'm still learning alocasias. It's true, I have a few in my collection. I have the Frydek and the silver dragon. So I have a few alocasias that I've managed to keep alive more than a few months. But yeah, I would definitely say that I had too much water in the reservoir and I did too much too fast with this plant. Thankfully, I was able to get some corms from that plant. I believe that I was able to get some corms, and I'll show you some clips of what the corms look like now. So hopefully soon I'll be able to get a brand new plant, and hopefully that plant will, oh, I'm looking at it. Look at that. That we have some new growth. Can you see the little green here coming out? I really, really hope you can see that. The little green nub coming out. I have heard that these plants can go dormant. I don't know, but that's what I've learned. And hopefully when that plant grows again and I put it back into, it becomes a plant again and it has leaves, hopefully what I think I will do next time with this alocasia. So this is my silver dragon, and I've put it in a very airy potting mix, like almost like an aeroid mix, because I give my plants a lot of attention and I'm able to feel it, weigh it, feel if it needs more water. And so I check on it regularly. So I feel like that has been working for me so far. And I've been able to get some new leaves, but with minimal damage. Yeah, with minimal damage, like meaning I've lost few leaves, because sometimes alocasias can give you a new leaf and lose a leaf. So far that hasn't really been happening. You may see like some, some things here, trial and error. This was when I was away and it wasn't in my care. And so the caregiver underwatered to stay on the safe side, which I'm fine with. You could recover from underwatering, but overwatering is tough. Okay, so my next plant that I'm going to talk about is going to be my Stromanthe Triostar, so a pear plant. Again, I'll show you what it looks like. I got this at the same time that I got that alocasia, and wow, that was even harder to care for than the alocasia. Like, pear plants have a reputation, and yes, they live up to that reputation of being unpredictable and being hard to care for. And yes, it was so difficult to figure out what this plant wanted. One minute it was giving me new growth, and another minute we were losing leaves, and another minute we weren't growing at all, and another minute we have crispy leaves. Like, I had no idea what was happening with that plant. And up to this day, I have no idea what happened. But I did recently do a plant aisles video. And in the plant aisles, I visit a table basically at my local plant store and look at every single plant on that table. And I did that for CALATHEA, for pear plants. And so I think I learned a little bit, a lot of talk about, indirect light, keeping the soil moderately moist. Again, that varies so much based on your light conditions and your growing conditions. So I'm not that much further than where I started off, but yes, that plant it's gone bye-bye. And I don't think I will get another pear plant, not for a little while longer, maybe as I grow in my plant experience. But right now, pear plants and it's love from afar. Okay, so let's talk about my next house plant. This one, I think, broke my heart the most because it was for a long time one of the most beautiful plants in my care. And that is my Pothos, Marble Queen Pothos. I will show you clips, the beautiful clips of what this plant used to look like. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was flowing down. It was at the top of this shelf, and it was flowing down all the way, cascading down the shelf onto the floor. It was beautiful. It was really a showstopper. When people came into my home and they looked at my plant wall, they were like, "Oh, this is beautiful." It was a beautiful plant. But your girl got overconfident. And so there was a period of time where I was very, very busy, and this plant, like I said, it was big, huge, and I was just underwatering this plant constantly. It's right by my south facing window. It's getting a lot of light, and I just couldn't keep up. So guess what I did? I thought, hey, pothos are so easy to care for. Who can mess up a pothos? Like, who can? Yeah. So what I did was I put this plant into water, this gigantic plant into water. First of all, I didn't even trim it, and I just put it straight into water. Wait for the kicker. Wait. And then I'll show you a clip. I put it into a north-facing window. I took it from south, where it was living its best life, getting a lot of sunlight, and I put it into a north, where it's literally getting a tiny fraction, literally nearly the opposite of what it was getting right here. And so, as you can imagine, this was so heartbreaking. I do not even have pictures of the process of the decline of this plant. It was so sad what happened to this plant. I was this close to crying, and we lost it. We lost that plant. But like we know with pothos, they're very easy to propagate. So let me show you what I have left of this plant. So this is a neon pothos, but this is literally all that I have left of this plant. this gorgeous, gorgeous plant. This is all I have left from when it was on its way out and I was just trying to gather as much of the plant as possible. Yeah, so I've got it in this jar here. We've got some roots and I really need to take it out of this jar. Moving forward, if I wanted to put a plant that was into a mature plant that was in soil into water, I think you should first cut this plant back quite a bit to be a very small plant because the shock, it's such a shock to take a plant from soil to water. So the fewer leaves the plant has, it's less stress on the plant to put it into water, and make sure it has consistent light conditions. Like, don't change everything all at once. Like, put it back to where it was, or even in a better spot where it can get even more light and grow even more beautifully, because they need to be babied when you've made that adjustment. Yes, that was a very, very bad decision on my part. How's the video going? Good? Yeah? If you like the video, please hit the like button down below. And oh yeah, before you go, many of you have been to my channel before. I've seen you around and you forgot to hit the subscribe button. So feel free to hit it before you leave. Okay, let's keep going. So the next plant on our list is also a plant I got about 6 months ago in a plant haul. It's a pink lady turtle vine, and it's one of these plants that is beautiful, pink. Again, I'll show clips of what it looked like. I'll show you right over here. And that plant, again, was beautiful. It was doing well. It was growing beautifully. I got a little overconfident. I thought, like, I've got this. This plant likes me. We have a friendship here. We're doing well. And I watered the plant, and there was some water in the reservoir. And I thought, oh, it's okay. These plants' roots are so shallow. It's not even going to be able to, like that. That's fine. No. Always empty the reservoir. That's the lesson. The moral of the story there, whenever you're watering a plant, I know it's basic knowledge. It's plant care 101. Never leave a plant in water in the reservoir. So I did not completely lose the plant, but let's say I lost about half of the plant. So this is what is left of my pink lady turtle vine. Needless to say, it's not pink anymore. It's got a lot of brown on the top and it's barely pink. And it's like a balding lady turtle vine. That I think is the appropriate name for this plant. But yeah, it's like I have this entire section of the plant, I don't even think is actually in the soil. Like I don't even think there are any roots holding up this part of the plant. So it's only a matter of time before, this entire part turns brown. And I am this close to, saying bye-bye to this plant, because I'm not getting a lot of joy from this and watching a plant decline. But this plant doesn't strike me as the easiest plant to propagate, because the vines, it's true, like, roots will come out probably very easily, but the vines are so delicate and they're so delicate. And I put them on the soil to propagate, but I don't know, if you have any suggestions, I'll take them. But I've tried taking some and putting it up here and pushing it into the soil with my finger. But I don't know, man. It's not looking promising. But maybe in an upcoming plant chores video, I'm going to really turn my attention to this plant and try to save it. But it's not looking good. But yeah, so again, what did I learn? This plant, it says bright filtered light, does enjoy a lot of bright light, does not like soggy soil. So that's 100% accurate. Like, don't keep it in soggy soil. It gets root rot quickly, and it's going to be really hard to help this plant recover because it's so delicate. And this is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of any of the string of pearls, string of hearts, string of dolphins, none of the strings, because it takes so much patience to be able to keep the vines from getting tangled and propagating them. I know they propagate easily, but it requires a level of patience that I have not yet mastered. And I have one more plant to show you. So this one, another easy beginner friendly houseplant that I don't know, somehow I managed to mess up this houseplant. And it's a Monstera. So I used to have this beautiful Monstera in my bathroom. It was doing amazingly. It was doing really well. I wish I had a before picture of what it looked like. And again, this is when I went into my water era. Like I went into an era where let's put everything in water. Let's put everything in leca. Let's just do it. At first, the plant was doing really, really well. When it was with me in the first few days, the leca seemed to have held up the plant. And then you've probably seen my short of this. While I was away, the caregiver added more leca, and then the plant started to rot. So I'm not sure why exactly more leca water. I'm not sure. I wasn't there, but all I know is when I came back, the water stank and it needed out. So I had to, again, chop up this plant into pieces, and happily, just like Pothos monsteras, propagate really well. But it was so sad to see a thriving plant like now has to be restarted all over again. And the moral of the story is similar to that with the dragon scale, is that monitor how much water you put into the reservoir. And when you make such a big change with a plant like that, so what I did is it's a few feet back. It was a few feet back from a south facing window, but I think it was too far back. It wasn't enough light for the change that had been made to that plant. It sort of needed, again, to be coddled a bit, to be babied a bit, given more light and given more attention because I made such a big change to this plant. So I think that's what I learned from that. And now the plant lives in just water. It happily lives in just water. It's under a south facing window. It doesn't get direct light, but it gets a lot of bright light. It's in my bathroom and a lot of humidity in my bathroom, and it's doing really, really well. And it has lots of new growth. It's much happier. But again, I had to start all over. So the newer leaves tend not to have those fenestrations. And so it's like I'm starting all over again. So it's definitely a lesson learned. And yeah, that's it for I believe I mentioned 5 plants that I have failed, I have messed up, and some of them, I think I've completely lost. And some of them I really, really hope will make a full recovery and become as beautiful as they used to be. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you clicking on it and you spending some of your day with me. If you like this video, I have a strong feeling that you may like some of the other videos on my channel. And if you haven't done so already, you may want to consider subscribing to the channel. So I'll put the subscribe button right here to make it easier for you to find. See you next time.